Remember Just Ice? They had a nigga named Just Ice.
Just Ice, BDP.
Yeah, that nigga was that's back then.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about Tupac and Biggie and all that. Man, they had gangster niggas then. What was the other nigga? The nigga Scholar Rock got killed.
Rock, BDP.
Yeah, man, hip hop always been a rough. It was rough, you know. So.
But I know that. So Mix a Lot from over there. Where you from?
He from Seattle.
Oh, you from Seattle?
Yeah, he from the West Coast. Yeah.
West Coast.
Yeah, we didn't have a hip hop scene, and believe it or not, the Midwest. Nobody came out of the Midwest. As gangster as Chicago was, you couldn't name one rapper from Chicago back in the day. They just couldn't make it out of there. You know, the sound was fucked up. They had some dudes out there called the Skinny Boys one time. You ain't even heard of them. But
you played Chicago a lot. You was always in Chicago a lot.
That was the first place I went to when I first started doing comedy. I used to go there all the time as a kid because they ain't number an hour and a half. And they had a place called Jewtown. We used to go by our close, which is like y'all Delancey Street. You know, they had bombers and all that shit. But that was the first place I went. I rode a bus up to Chicago and played a place called The Click. Yep, it was downtown on Michigan Road, on Michigan Street. And that's where I used to go in the club, and that's what I'm saying. My movie is crazy in my head because I was in these places at a young age, and I wasn't from there. Nobody knew who I was. And I did that in New York. I moved here in the 90s. I seen every rapper, every street nigga. Them niggas didn't know who I was until I started talking. I had Timberland on, all kinds of shit. And if I say something, they say, hey man, what'd you say, B? I'm serious. If I was a hitman, boy, motherfuckers' ass was in trouble because I was all the way up here from Indiana. And I'll never forget, I bought a Cadillac. And I went and picked the girl up. I was in a Cadillac. She said, I didn't know you drove a cab. But that shit is luxury in Indiana. Ain't no motherfucking cab.
That was an OJ here. That was a Harlem cab over there. You pushing the OJ? All right, nigga.
I had an OJ. That's what y'all call it, an OJ.
Back in those days, it was an OJ putting the cab on.
I remember the first time I seen a Diplomats, nigga, you had their perm, nigga. When they did that Easy shit, that shit was raw, nigga. And that beat, that... Oh, you was raw on that motherfucker, man.
Oh, man.
You was raw. You was raw.
Who's your favorite comedian?
Who's my favorite comedian?
Or one of them, or some of them.
I
mean, like people you grew up.
I definitely, Eddie Murphy, I definitely grew up watching Eddie Murphy, you know what I mean? Niggas used to come on Saturday Night Live, you know. Buckwheat has been shot. They had a thing where he was playing Buckwheat, and it showed Buckwheat got shot. Man, we were so young, that shit looked real to us. We was like, damn, Buckwheat got shot, but he wasn't really Buckwheat. But yeah, man, I grew up watching all of this.
Delirious Raw.
Oh, Delirious Raw, man. Richard Pryor shit. You know, Richard Pryor was so, he was who we are. He was talking about street shit. He was talking about real life. You know, kind of like yourself. Like if I could categorize you in the music world, back then you would be like a Curtis Mayfield type nigga. You know what I mean? Because you talking about some real streets. You know what I mean?
They said Curtis Mayfield was a gangster too.
He was real.
Definitely.
He was real. Yeah, he was a real deal.
So in your space of doing business,
yeah,
and this seems to be a heavy competition.
It is
in the comedian world. Like just as heavy it is inside of the rap world.
Man, even worse. Comedians are dark. You see, I mean, and our stories is always, they end fucked up. You know what I mean? That's why I try to have a balance with being famous and being a normal person. And I lean more towards being a normal person because I was normal before I had a chance to be a normal person before I got famous. I didn't get famous until I was 27 years old. So I'd already been through the system, worked jobs, been broke, poor. I lived before I got in the business. So by the time I got it, I was like, you know, it didn't do what it would have did to me if I got it at 18. You know what I mean? I was a decent enough age. I seen enough, you know, but Yeah, I managed to balance it out, man. You know,
Actually, because you're
with longevity.
one of the few comedians that are still so vocal.
Yeah.
Do you see a change in the way comedians perform as far as what they say and how they curb a lot of the things that
Oh yeah.
comedians used to do back in the days that we used to find so much humor in and things like that?
Yeah.
Do you think that takes away from the craft?
It do. It takes away from the craft. And I always said this, man. You know, with young and old, you got it's pros and cons. With young and old, there's things that the older guys can't do that the younger guys can do, and there's things that the younger guys don't have, which is experience. And nowadays, there's all of these substitutes for experience. Social media is a substitute for experience. You don't have to experience it for real. You can pretend that you experience it and sell it, and people will buy it. You know what I mean? That's how they created AI. You know, because they said, damn, people are faking. We can just use a program that's faking. Because they learned that that's mob psychology. People like fake shit. I got a buddy right now in love with an AI bitch on there. I keep telling him, nigga, that lady ain't real. She's real. I talk to her every day. I said, look on the page, and if you don't see a bitch in the kitchen cutting some fruit or something, all you see is pain pictures, that ain't real. We going to the Bahamas already. I said, FaceTime her. You're being negative. I said, no, you want to believe that this lady's is real, nigga. But that's how that shit is. It's that powerful that it make people want fake shit. They don't want no real shit. If you look at clothes, all them fake ass brands, Fashion Nova and all that, go up to Louis Vuitton, they stealing their shit. The big brands are stealing from the cheap motherfuckers because they watching the people that can't afford the shit dress up in the cheap shit fly. They say, oh hell no.
Get that, man.
Huh?
They make a lot of money off of that fake shit.
Off that fake shit.
So then, with that being said,
Motherfucking jacket's $5,000, and if you cut the tag off of it, it just look like it's just a regular jacket.
Can't even tell.
You can't tell.
Can't tell nothing. So when you see influencers or new comedians utilizing social media to gain fame fairly quickly and go into...
I ain't mad at them. I love it. You know, because just like the NBA, man, them dudes wasn't making their money back then that they making right now. Them contracts these dudes is getting is crazy. And just imagine them dudes that was really playing harder back then wasn't even making a quarter of that money. But they still can't be mad at them because it's the new generation. The only problem with that is, and I tell all the young comics that's making money, set aside some time. And New York is a great boot camp for comedians. I tell every time a comedian say, man, I said, take your ass to New York. And they say, New York, but they scared of this motherfucker. Cause it's intimidating, cause it's a melting pot. And if you don't know nobody, you on your motherfucking own, and you can't trick nobody here.
At all.
So, this ain't no Instagram shit. I tell them, move your ass to New York and go hit them clubs and run around there every night. Cause New York, they gonna tell you, they gonna let you know if you coming with the real shit. Any other city you can trick them, but you come to New York, you gonna be sitting there and you gonna hear motherfuckers say, womp womp, and then you gonna keep talking, you gonna hear motherfuckers say, boo, and then next thing you know, get the fuck out of here. Who said that? What? That's the order of it right there. Start trickling in. Next thing you know, the whole place booing your ass out of here.
Hey, you ever got booed before?
One time. Out of all the years that I've been doing, I went up in New Jersey, I went up in Rochester, I came out and I said, everybody give it up for me. They was all clapping. I said, for my dick. They all do like this. Boom! Fuck you, nigga! Get your bitch ass off the stage. Yes, they did. And the first time I started, the first time I did it, I got booed. I was on the radio and I invited my whole family, everybody out there, and I went and got a suit. And when I came in there, I seen two niggas I owed some money to. As soon as I walked in the door, and I went up here and they booed me. Deion Cole was the host. Deion Cole from Chicago. Yep, he was driving from Chicago to Indiana to host the show.
Deion Cole was crazy. He was just in the